Okay, so good afternoon to one and all. In the previous lecture of electrical machine first, we have concluded the unit number 3.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. See, uh, in the previous lecture, we have concluded the unit number 3, and that is testing of a DC machine. We have already concluded the testing of DC machine unit in the previous one lecture. Also, we have seen testing of DC machine, different types of test, and we have calculated the efficiency of the DC machine. We have calculated the efficiency of the DC machine in that DC motor and generator by performing a test. Okay, test perform करून आपण ऑलरेडी त्याची efficiency find out केले, as well as we have already solve some problem related to that. Okay, so in the previous one lecture, and we have concluded this first one unit of electrical machine first subject. First one section of electrical machine one subject we have already concluded. Now from today onwards, we have started the section second. In that unit number 4, section second, in that unit number 4 is that single phase transformer. Okay, so we will discuss regarding single phase transformer. Single phase transformer, you people already know about the transformer. The single phase transformer, the construction of single phase transformer, then working principle of single phase transformer, how it will be works, then the EMF equation of the single phase transformer. Also, if the transformer it can be kept on no load condition, what is their performance, how their performance. If the transformer it can be on a load condition, how the performance of that type of transformer. Okay, then we are able to find out the losses and efficiency upon losses and efficiency, and we are performing some of the test again in single phase transformer. सिंगल फेज ट्रान्सफॉर्मर मध्ये आपण याच्या परत टेस्ट पण काही परफॉर्म करणार आहे, और वी आर कंडक्टिंग सम ऑफ द टेस्ट ऑन द सिंगल फेज ट्रान्सफॉर्मर. Okay, now see the single phase transformer, this is the unit number 4. Okay, now we will discuss regarding syllabus of this unit 4 single phase transformer subject चा single phase transformer unit चा जो काही syllabus असेल, it will contain a transformer construction and types, transformer construction and the types of transformer. So transformer construction, types of transformer, in that we will discuss regarding the working principle of transformer also. Then EMF equation, that is induced EMF equation, then voltage ratio, that is V1 upon V2, or the primary to the secondary, that is voltage divided by voltage of primary divided by voltage of secondary, that is voltage ratio. Then kVA rating, that is how why the transformer it can be represented in the kVA. Do you know that the nameplate of the generator as well as motor, generator ची आणि motor ची काय nameplate असेल, on that nameplate there is a given that on the generator nameplate it has been presented the output power of the generator, it is in the kilowatt, or it may be watt मध्ये किंवा kilowatt मध्ये represent करतो. Why the power rating of the transformer it can be used as a kVA, that is kVA rating. Then transformer on no load and on load condition with phasor diagram. Okay, so transformer on load condition चा transformer, on no load condition चा transformer, and what are the phasor diagram, whether the phasor diagram it should be depends upon load or it may be no. Okay, and how the phasor diagram it can be drawn. Then losses and efficiency, which are the losses are occurs in the transformer, how the efficiency it can be calculated. So losses and efficiency. Then condition for maximum efficiency, so when the maximum efficiency of the transformer it will be obtained, so that is the condition we want to we want to derive the condition for maximum efficiency. Then transformer equivalent circuit, that is we want to derive. Also we want to draw the equivalent circuit diagram of the transformer. Then effect of load on power factor. What is the effect if the load on the transformer it will be changed? Then what is the effect on that of power factor? Power factor वरती काय effect होईल? So we want to discuss that point also. Then some testing we want to perform, that is testing polarity test, then open circuit test, that is OC test, short circuit test, that is SC test. Okay, so these three testing we have to perform and we want to understand this testing: polarity test, open circuit test, and short circuit test. Then parallel operation, that is transformer it will be put in the parallel, how they share the load, that is the parallel operation. What are the condition while performing the parallel operation of two transformer or more than two transformer? What are the necessary condition? What are the satisfactory condition? So this we will understand in the parallel operation. And then last one point is that auto transformer. So what is the definition of auto transformer? Why it is called as auto transformer? Again, if they are saving in between the copper of the auto transformer, so we want to derive that expression. So these are the unit content of this unit, that is single phase transformer. हे सिंगल फेज ट्रान्सफॉर्मरचे युनिट कंटेंट आहेत. now okay, unit content of the single phase transformer. So these are the some of the unit content. We want to discuss this unit content in this unit number 4, that is single phase transformer. Single phase transformer मध्ये हे आपल्याला unit content आहेत. So we want to understand this all content, different content it is used in the transformer. Okay, it is used in the transformer. Now we will see one by one. First one, it is nothing but transformer construction. First one, it is nothing but transformer construction and their types. Transformer construction and their type. Okay, construction of transformer and their type आपण बघणार आहे. Now see, before discussing regarding construction and their types, we will discuss first of all what is meant by transformer. Okay, so basic related to transformer related to basic, then basic related to the transformer. Again we will discuss the principle of that working principle of the transformer and their construction. Okay, now see, the definition is that the transformer it is a static device. Transformer it is a static device which can convert the magnetic energy into an electric energy. It consists of two electrical coil. Okay, so see, it consists of two electrical coil. So one coil it is called as a primary winding, one coil it is called as a secondary winding, and the primary winding of the transformer it will receive the power, and this power it can be transferred to the secondary, that is secondary delivers the power to the load side. Secondary winding काय करेल, power load side ला deliver करेल. Now see, first of all understand the definition. The transformer it is a static device. Okay, why it is called a static device? Can anyone tell me? Definition आहे, the transformer it is a static device which can transfer a power from one circuit to another circuit with a change in its voltage and current, but without change in its frequency. Okay, so what is the meaning of static? Okay, right, it has no any moving part, so that we can call it as a static device. Okay, so transformer it is a static device, either it may be single phase transformer or it may be three phase transformer. कुठलाही ट्रान्सफॉर्मर असू द्या. So the transformer, it is a static device which can convert or which can transfer an electrical power from one circuit to the another circuit with change in its voltage and current, but without change in its frequency. Okay, so in that we got a 3 point. The transformer frequency remains same while transferring the power from one circuit to another circuit. एका सर्किट कडून अनदर सर्किट कडे ज्यावेळेस पॉवर ट्रान्सफर होते, at that situation the frequency of the transformer remains same. Now with the change in its voltage and current, that means either voltage it will be a change or it may be current it will be changed. Okay, so voltage kiwa current change will, but the frequency remains same. So this is the definition of transformer. Transformer, it is a static device which can transfer an electric power from one circuit to the another circuit with change in its voltage or current, but without change in its frequency. Or we can express this definition by using another way. A transformer, it is a static device which transfer the power from one electrical circuit to the another electrical circuit with increase in voltage and decrease in current to the decrease in voltage and increase in current without change in its frequency. Okay, baga. So that means power transferred from the transformer one circuitry to the another circuitry, it is remains same. याच्यावरून पॉवर जी काय ट्रान्सफर होते, इट इज नथिंग बट सेम. जर मी व्होल्टेज इन्क्रीज केला, सपोज पॉवर फॉर्म्युला V is equals to P is equals to V into I. Now here the AC part is there, that means alternating current, that is AC winding. So we want to take into account that is power factor, that is cos phi. Cos phi पण अकाउंट मध्ये घ्यावा लागतोय. So see, P is equals to VI cos phi. So power transferred from one circuit to another circuit remains same. Power same आहे. If the voltage increases, that means to make the power constant, the current should be decreases. Okay, voltage increase झालं याचा अर्थ power constant आहे, so that current decrease होईल. Then and then only we can that means we can make the power constant. So VI cos phi, it is the power formula. That means with increase in voltage and a decrease in current to the decrease in voltage with the increase in current. Okay, okay, so that means either increase in voltage and decrease in current, or the decrease in current, that is increase in voltage. Okay, so this is the definition. See, a transformer, it is a static device which can convert the magnetic energy, that means magnetic energy, into an electrical energy. It consists of two electrical coil. One is called as a primary winding, one is called as a secondary winding. The primary winding of the transformer, it will receive a power from the supply, and the secondary winding, it will deliver the power. See, I will draw some diagram related to that. Suppose this is one of the coil, that is primary coil. Then this is another one coil, that is secondary coil. Okay, he दोन coil असतात. One is called as a primary coil, second one is called as a secondary coil. Now the transformer, it is having an two winding, one primary winding, one secondary winding. So primary winding, suppose it will receive the power, ही power receive करेल from the supply end, supply end कडून power receive करेल, and secondary winding, it will deliver the power to the load side. Power कुठे deliver होते, load ला, म्हणजे load is attached to that of secondary side, and the power, it is to be fed to that of primary side. So this is simple construction related to that of transformer. It will consist of two coils. Now these two windings are not electrically connected. याच्यामध्ये electrical connection असतं का? Whether these two coils are electrically connected?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
These two coils are not electrically connected, but it is magnetically coupled. Okay, that means magnetic coupling between these two coils. these two coils are not electrically connected, but the magnetic coupling between these two coil, so there is a magnetic energy it will be generated. ओके बघा, इनपुटला मी इलेक्ट्रिकल सप्लाय देतोय, सप्लाय एंड कडून इथून इथपर्यंत इलेक्ट्रिकल सप्लाय येईल, या दोन्ही मध्ये कनेक्शन नाही, सो हियर इट इज मॅग्नेटिक एनर्जी. देन at the output it is as a electrical energy, output ला काय आहे, electric energy. So that here word is given which can converts magnetic energy into an electrical energy. म्हणजे मॅग्नेटिक एनर्जीचं कन्व्हर्जन इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी मध्ये करतो. दिस इज द डिव्हाइस इज नथिंग बट ट्रान्सफॉर्मर. I have tell two different definition. Transformer is device that converts magnetic energy into electrical energy. Or transformer, it is a static device which can converts a power from which can transfer a power from one point or one station to the another station with change in its voltage and current, but without change in its frequency. Now see, it consists of two electrical coil called as a primary winding and the secondary winding. The primary winding of the transformer, it will receive a power, while the secondary winding delivers a power. Okay, now the magnetic iron circuitry is there. That means या दोन coilच्या मध्ये एक magnetic iron circuitry असेल. So this is called as core, is commonly used to wrap around this coil. Through these two coils are electrically isolated. Okay, ह्या दोन coil electrically isolate करण्यासाठी there is a core, it can be used. Okay, so they are magnetically linked. See, these two coils are the not electrically connected, these two are the magnetically coupled, or it may be magnetically linked with each other. Okay, magnetically linked with each other. So this is just definition related to that of transformer. Now see, the transformer, it will consist of main three part. That is, in that first one, the core, it is the first one part of the transformer. Then second one part of the transformer is nothing but winding, and third one part of the transformer, it is nothing but insulation. Okay, म्हणजे ट्रान्सफॉर्मरचे तीन मेन पार्ट आहेत. वी विल डिस्कस इन द कन्स्ट्रक्शन लेटर आपण डिस्कशन करणार आहे त्याच्यावरती. So transformer consists of three main part, or the three part of the transformer. In that core, important part, that is core. Then second one is that winding, that is primary winding, secondary winding, and the insulating material or the isolation. Okay, isolation किंवा insulation साठी जे काही यूज करतोय, so this material, these are the three part of the transformer. Okay, please tell me whether all of you got the definition of the transformer. All of you got definition of the transformer? Is there any doubt in that? Hello. ट्रान्सफॉर्मर ची डेफिनेशन समजली का?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will discuss regarding principle of a single phase transformer. Okay, single phase transformer which works on the which principle? So we will discuss regarding the principle of single phase transformer. See, the single phase transformer, it will works on the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Typically in that, the mutual induction principle, or the mutual induction between primary and secondary winding, and it is responsible for transformer operation in an electrical transformer. आणि हे जे काय म्युच्युअल इंडक्शन असेल, so this mutual induction, it will be responsible for the operation of the electrical transformer. Electrical transformer च्या ऑपरेशन साठी काय असेल, responsible असेल. Okay, see, we will discuss regarding working principle of single phase transformer. Now see, the transformer, it is a static device. I have already told. It will transfer a electrical power from one circuit to the another circuit with a change in its voltage and current, but without change in its frequency. Okay, see, in the construction baga transformer. In the construction, it is having an 2 winding, or this figure shows that the construction diagram of single phase transformer. So this part, that is this box, it is nothing but it is an iron core. Okay, so this one is the iron core. I have told the 3 important part. Iron core. Okay, then these 2 are the winding. हे जे काय कॉपर वाइंडिंग आहे. सो दिस 2 it is nothing but winding of the transformer. हे ट्रान्सफॉर्मर चे वाइंडिंग आहे. One is called as primary winding, second one is called as secondary winding. Okay, and the insulating material or the insulation provided, जे काय insulation provide केलेलं असेल ते. Okay, now see, this is the iron. What is the function of each and every we will see first. Now see, the iron core, it will provide a return path to the flux. Okay, so iron core जे आहे, so it will provides a return path to that of flux. See, when the supply is given to that of primary winding ला ज्यावेळेस supply दिला जाईल, at that situation these are the copper winding and the supply or the current flowing from that winding, due to that some of the flux it will be set up in that primary winding मध्ये काहीतरी flux काय होतील, set up होतील. Now see, this flux it will be travel in this iron core. Okay, this flux it will be travel in the iron core, and it will set up some of the flux in that of secondary coil. Okay, त्याच्यामुळे secondary coil मध्ये काहीतरी flux काय होतील, सेटअप होतील. Now according to the principle of mutual induction and the electromagnetic induction, Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, it will induce some of the EMF in that of secondary coil. Secondary coil मध्ये काहीतरी EMF induce होईल. So EMF is nothing but the voltage it will be induces in the secondary coil. So that means it will convert the magnetical energy into an electrical energy. That is, it will transfer electrical power from one circuit to the electrical power to the other circuit. Okay, so see, transformer, it is a static device that transfer electrical power in one circuit to the another circuit with change in its frequency, with change in its voltage and current, but without change in its frequency. That means frequency remains same. It consists of 2 coil or the 2 winding, that is primary and secondary winding, and this transformer it will be operates on the principle of mutual inductance. Whether you people know the principle of mutual induction? Mutual induction चा principle माहिती आहे का तुम्हाला? Hello, whether you people know the principle of mutual induction? Give me reply. I think you have already studied in the BEEE subject. Whether you people know the principle of mutual induction or the concept related to mutual induction? Give me reply, anyone. Hello. No one is present. Are you present now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just give me single reply whether you people know the principle of mutual induction. माहिती आहे का तुम्हाला म्युच्युअल इंडक्शनचं प्रिन्सिपल?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, we will discuss that one. Now, consider a 2 coil. I will draw here. Suppose this one is the first coil. Consider a 2 coil. Then this one is the second coil. So consider a 2 coil. these two coils are not electrically connected to each other. या दोन्ही coil electrically connected नाहीयेत, but it is magnetically coupled with each other. म्हणजे काय दोन असतील, दोन coil असतील, these two coils are magnetically coupled to each other. Okay, so see, consider two coils. These two coils are not electrically connected, but it is kept nearer to each other. That means it is magnetically coupled to each other. When supply is given to that of one coil, that is a power supply, it is provided to that of first one coil. या coil ला power supply provide केलेला आहे. Suppose this coil it is called as primary, this coil it is called as secondary. When the supply it can be given to that of first one coil, then the current start flowing from that coil. या coil मधून current काय होईल, start होईल flow व्हायला. Suppose this current flowing from this coil is nothing but I. Okay, see, these two coils, that is primary and secondary, are nearer to each other. They are not connected electrically, but these two are coupled magnetically. Okay, so these two coils are coupled magnetically, not connected electrically. When the current start flowing in the primary coil, it will set up a sum of the flux in that coil. Around this coil, coil च्या around काय होतील, it will set up some of the flux lines of force. Okay, it will set up some of the flux lines of force. That is, suppose the flux it will be set up in this coil due to current flowing from this first one coil, it is nothing but phi. Some of the flux it will links to that of second coil. याच्यामधलाच काही flux जो आहे, because it will kept nearer to each other and the magnetically coupling between these two, so that some of the flux it will be this flux it will be flows or it will be set up in that of secondary coil. Secondary coil मध्ये काय होईल, काहीतरी flux काय होईल, set up होईल. Okay, that means suppose this flux phi 2 it is set up due to that of flux phi 1. लक्षात घ्या what I am telling. This flux phi 2 okay, see, this flux phi 2 it will be set up due to that of flux phi 1 in the primary coil. Primary coil मध्ये flux phi 1 setup झाला, त्याच्यामुळं secondary coil मध्ये it will links to that of coil second. In that coil it will set up some of the flux phi 2. Due to that flux, according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, it will induces some of the EMF in the secondary coil. Okay, या secondary coil मध्ये काय होईल, some of the EMF it will be induces. And if this the load it can be connected to that of secondary coil, जर secondary coil ला load connect केला असेल, so when the load it can be connected to that of secondary coil, there is some of the current it will be start flowing from that of secondary coil. या coil मुळे काय होईल, current I2 it will be flowing from this secondary coil. Now this I2 it will be flowing from this secondary coil. It will set up some of the flux in the secondary coil itself, as well as it will set up some of the flux in that nearby coil, that is primary coil. Primary coil मध्ये पण काय होईल, या I2 current मुळे some of the flux it will be set up. So this principle it is nothing but and the mutual induction principle. Okay, so that means the flux it is induced or it may be EMF induced in the coil, mutually induced EMF, and there are two types of induced EMF, that is self-induction, self-induced EMF, and the mutual induced EMF. So self-induced EMF is nothing but when the current flowing from one coil, there is a sum of the EMF it will be induced in that same coil, it is nothing but self-induced EMF. आणि त्या करंट मुळे जर दुसऱ्या कॉइल मध्ये काहीतरी EMF इंड्यूस होत असेल, सो दिस इज नथिंग बट म्युच्युअली इंड्यूस्ड EMF ड्यू टू प्रायमरी करंट. पहिल्या करंट मुळे दुसऱ्या कॉइल मध्ये जर EMF इंड्यूस होत असेल, देन इट इज नथिंग बट म्युच्युअली इंड्यूस्ड EMF. किंवा दुसऱ्या करंट मुळे पहिल्या कॉइल मध्ये जर काही करंट फ्लो होत असेल, काही EMF इंड्यूस होत असेल, सो दिस EMF इज नथिंग बट म्युच्युअली इंड्यूस्ड EMF. and the transformer, it will be works on this mutual induction principle. Transformer या mutual induction principle वरती काय करतोय, work करतोय. Okay, so see, the mutual induction principle is that when the consider two coils, if these two coils are not electrically connected to each other but it is magnetically coupled with each other, then magnetically coupled to each other, then when supply is given to that of one coil, when the supply it can be given to that of one coil, then this coil set up some of the induced EMF in the secondary coil. It will set up some of the induced EMF in the secondary coil. So this principle, it is called as mutual induction principle. This principle, it is nothing but the mutual induction principle. Getting? लक्षात आलं का? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is simple. I have drawn diagram. So this can be putted in the one of the special construction. एका construction मध्ये हे काय केलेलं आहे, प्लेस केलेलं आहे. See, when the primary of the transformer it is connected to AC supply. आता या डायग्राम वरून लक्षात घ्या. Here it is one coil, that is primary coil. Here it is second coil, that is nothing but secondary coil. When this primary coil it can be connected to that of AC supply. AC supply ला connect केले, then the current flows in the coil and the magnetic field build up. याच्यामधून काय होईल, करंट फ्लो होईल या कॉइल मधून. It will build up a magnetic field, that is flux. Suppose it will build up a flux phi1. Flux काय होते, build up होते. So this condition is known as mutual inductance, and the flow of current is as per the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay, so this current flow, it should be depends upon Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and this principle, it is nothing but the mutual induction principle. Okay, now as the current increases from 0 to its maximum value, the magnetic field strengthens and is given by the induced EMF is d phi by dt. Do you know that the formula, that is E is directly proportional to d phi by dt? That is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. You people already know. I have already tell in the generator principle is that the Faraday's second law of electromagnetic induction, the rate of change of flux, it is directly proportional to the, or EMF induced, it is directly proportional to the rate of change of flux. Induced EMF, it is directly proportional to that of rate of change of flux, that is d phi by dt. So if we are increasing the flux value from 0 to maximum value, 0% maximum value पर्यंत जर flux आपण increase करत गेलो, then the induced EMF it will be set up or this given by equation, that is d phi by dt, d phi by dt. So this electromagnet, it will forms a magnetic lines of force, that is magnetic lines of force or flux, and this force or the magnetic lines of force, it will expands outward from the coil, forming a path of magnetic flux. त्याच्यावरून काय होईल, एक magnetic flux चा path form होईल in between this closed core or the core. It will provide a return path to that of flow of flux. Flux flow होण्यासाठी return path provide करेल. Okay, now the turns of the both winding, it get linked by this magnetic flux. So हा जो काय magnetic flux असेल phi, so due to this this phi, it will be flowing in this closed circuitry, or it maybe it will be flowing in the magnetic core. At that situation, these two coil, that is primary coil and secondary coil, are linked with each other. The दोन्ही coil काय होतील, link with each other, or the magnetically coupled with each other. The strength of magnetic field generated in the core depends upon number of turns in the winding. Okay, so magnetic strength, it should be depends upon the number of turns used in the winding. Suppose winding मध्ये number of turns increase केल्या, obviously the flux production it will be increases, and if the flux set up to that of secondary coil, it will be increases, then the induced EMF in the secondary side, it will be increases. Okay, so see, it should be depends upon the number of turns. If the turns reduces, then induced EMF it will be reduces. Turns in the winding and the amount of current which is passed from the winding मधून amount of current किती pass करतोय त्याच्यावरती काय राहील डिपेंड राहील. So that means the magnetic field strength it is represented by H. It is equals to N into I. That is N into I. N is nothing but number of turns and I is nothing but current flowing from that coil. त्या coil मधून flow होणारा current. So the magnetic flux and the current are directly proportional to each other. Okay, so magnetic flux that is phi and the current are directly proportional. That means जर त्याच्यामधून फ्लो होणारा करंट इन्क्रीज झाला ऑटोमॅटिकली फ्लक्स इन्क्रीज होतील. If the current decreases, that means flux it will be decreases because there are direct proportion in between phi and I. Okay, so current आणि phi मध्ये काय असेल direct proportion असेल. It is directly proportional to that of flux phi. That is current, it is directly proportional to the flux phi. Current, it is directly proportional to the flux phi. So there is direct proportion, so that again field strength it should be depends upon that of flux value, and the flux value it should be depends upon current value. So this is the relation regarding that. Now as the magnetic lines of force or the magnetic lines of flux, it will be flows around this closed circuit or around this core. It passes through the secondary winding. मी सांगितलं principle तुम्हाला, that is when the current start flowing from primary winding, it will set up some of the flux phi. This flux it will be travel in the core, or this flux it will be flows in that of core, and this flux it will be passes from that of secondary winding. ज्यावेळेस हा secondary winding मधून pass होईल, at that situation it will induce some of the EMF in that of secondary winding, or through the secondary winding including voltage across it. According to the Faraday's law, it will induces some of the EMF in the secondary winding. Okay, the Faraday's law is used to determine the voltage induced across the secondary coil. आणि Faraday's law use करून आपण किती amount of voltage induce होते, so it should be depends. So the formula for check induced EMF E, it is equals to N d phi by dt. Okay, N d phi by dt, where N is nothing but the number of turns in that coil. The coil ची काही number of turns असतील, and d phi by dt is nothing but rate of change of flux. Okay, rate of change of flux, and the N it is nothing but number of turns in that coil. The coil मधले number of turns. Okay, in that coil, the number of turns in that coil, and the d phi by dt is nothing but rate of change of flux. Flux rate कितीच्या change होतोय, it should be depends upon supply current, where N is nothing but number of turns of the coil, that is number of coil turn. The frequency is the same in the primary and secondary winding, because you people know the in the definition is that it is a static device. It can transfer the power from one circuit to another circuit with the change in its voltage and current, but without change in its frequency, so that frequency remains same from primary as well as secondary. So thus we can say that the voltage induced is the same in both the winding. Voltage induced is the same in the both the winding, as the same magnetic flux it will be linked. As the same magnetic flux it will be links to that of coil. Okay, so it will be links both the coils. Also the total voltage induced is directly proportional to the number of turns in the coil. Total voltage किती induce होते हैं, so this should be it depends upon, or it should be depends upon number of turns in the coil used. Coil मध्ये number of turns किती use केले त्याच्यावरती काय राहील depends आहे. Okay, so this is the working principle, or this is the working principle of the transformer. All of you getting working principle?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the simple again mutual induction, and it will induces an EMF, that is E is equals to N d phi by dt. We will derive the EMF equation next. Upon next la EMF equation derive करणार आहे. I will tell some of the construction feature, that is construction related to transformer. See, the transformer, it is a static device. We have already discussed static device. It can transfer a power from one circuit to the another circuit with the change in its voltage and current, but without change in its frequency. And I have tell there are three constructional part, that is not a three but main three construction part of the transformer. In that, first one, core it is important part. Second one is that winding, that is primary winding and the secondary winding. And third one is nothing but insulation. Okay, insulation. I think you people already seen your transformer बघितलंय का तुम्ही? Whether you have seen the distribution transformer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so in our agriculture field, that is आपल्याकडे आपण त्याला generally DP म्हणतो, that is distribution transformer. Okay, so see, त्याला construction part असेल, winding असेल, and another one important point is that insulating material. Which insulating material is used in the transformer? कोणते यूज करतोय आपण जनरली इन आवर ऍग्रिकल्चर फील्ड मध्ये? कोणतं इन्सुलेटिंग मटेरियल असतं? विच वन? You have tell, no, you have already seen the transformer, that is your distribution transformer or DP, we can call it as a DP. So in that, insulating material is used. कोणतं असतं? Whether you people know? माहिती आहे का तुम्हाला? Hello, give me reply.
No.
Okay, see, the insulating material, that means insulation, it is another one most important construction part in the transformer. See, there is a insulation, it can be provided in between each and every turns. प्रत्येक टर्नच्या मध्ये पण insulation असेल, as well as these two coil, that is primary coil and the secondary coil, are not connected electrically, so that there is some of the insulation between these two coil. या दोन्ही coilच्या मध्ये पण काय असेल? Insulation असेल. So generally we are using, that is transformer oil, or we can call it as a insulating oil. Insulating oil जे आहे, it is act as a insulating material. That is we are using here the mineral oil. Mineral oil आपण use करतोय. Okay, so the oil, it can be used, that is mineral oil. This oil, it can be act as a insulating material. असतं माहिती आहे तुम्हाला, ट्रान्सफॉर्मर मध्ये ऑइल असतं? You people know ना? Hello, whether you know the transformer, there is oil, it should be present in between that. DP मध्ये ऑइल असतं माहिती आहे ना?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this oil, it will be act as a insulating material. Okay, so this oil, it will provide a insulation between primary and secondary, primary winding and secondary winding च्या मधलं जे काही insulation असेल, this insulation, it will be provided by using a oil. And in between turns, there is insulation, it can be provided. Either this insulation, it will be whether the paper insulation or it may be mica insulation. And you people know the winding, that is copper winding. Again, this copper winding, it can be varnished by some of the insulating material, or some of the thin coating, it can be used as a varnish. त्याच्यावरती varnish केलेलं असेल किंवा त्याला coating असतं. So this is act as a insulating material. Okay, so this is the insulating material. These three part are important. One of the that is core, that is magnetic core. Second one is that winding, and the third one, it is nothing but third one, it is nothing but an insulating material. Okay, see, the core, it is made up of a laminated sheet. Again, in between this core there is a lamination, it can be provided. This core, it is nothing but it is the laminated sheet. Either it may be square strips or it may be a sheet. This sheet, it is having an steel lamination, and this lamination sheet, it can be used to provide a continuous path, and it will include a minimum air gap between that. Okay, त्याच्यामध्ये minimum air gap असेल. So this is nothing but core. See, core, it is made up of a laminated steel strip. Either it may be square type steel sheet or it may be strip, and these are assembled to provide a continuous flux path. Flux la continuous or a reverse path to that of flux, closed path to that of flux. Flux la continuous path provide करण्यासाठी काय केलं असेल, use केलं असेल. So this is the simple one, that is, this is the core. It is made up of steel laminated steel strip, and the material used for made up of a core, it is nothing but high silicon steel, or it may be, it will contain a high silicon. Okay, and sometimes this material, it is having an high permeability, and it is used, why the silicon it can be used, it is used to reduce the hysteresis loss. Okay, so for usual operating range, or it may be usual operating flux density, it will reduce the hysteresis loss. म्हणजे hysteresis loss कमी करण्यासाठी आपण steel strip use करतोय, having an high silicon steel content. Okay, silicon content जे असेल, maximum silicon steel content, and these are laminated from each other to reduce the hysteresis loss. Okay, now again there are another one type of loss, is that eddy current loss, and this eddy current loss, it can be minimized by laminating the core. Core ला जर lamination केलं, lamination provided असतं, but if the core, it can be laminated, then the eddy current loss, it should be reduces. Transformer मधला जो काही eddy current loss असेल, it should be minimized or the reduced by lamination using in between the core strip जे असतील त्याला lamination use करून. So this lamination, it should be a thin lamination. Okay, this lamination, it should be a thin lamination, and this will act as a insulator. It will be insulated, that means these strips are insulated from each other by using a one type of coating. Okay, so the thickness of that lamination, if the thickness of that lamination, it should be reduces, then the eddy current loss, it should be reduces. Thickness of lamination, generally the thickness, it should be varies from, generally ही जी काही thickness आहे lamination ची, so this thickness, it should be varies from 0.35 mm to that of 0.5 mm. Okay, ही जी काही thickness असेल, so this thickness, it should be varied from 0.35, जे lamination आपण यूज करतोय स्ट्रीप मधला, त्याची thickness 0.35 to 0.5 mm असेल. 0.5 mm, that means minimum or the very thin amount of lamination it can be used. And if the lamination, it is a thin, then the eddy current loss, it will be reduces, and if the lamination, it should be a greater. Okay, lamination जर thick असेल, then the loss, it should be increases. Okay, loss काय होतील, increase होतील. And then last one part is that the winding. Do you people already know the winding? That is the transformer winding, it is made up of copper winding. Generally this is the copper winding असतात. So this is made up of a copper material, and do you know that the copper, it is an good electrical conductor. Okay, it should be a good electrical conductor. When the current, it will be passing from that of copper material, then due to the coating, it will produces some of the flux. This flux phi, it will be travel from the core, that is transformer core. If this flux, it will be set off, or it will be in contact with that of secondary coil, it will set up some of the EMF in the secondary coil. So this is the principle, and this one is the construction part of that of transformer. Okay, so हे construction parts आहेत transformerचे. So there are constructionally there are main two types of transformer. So these types we will discuss in the next lecture. आपण हे जे काही types आहेत, हे types we will discuss in the next one lecture, that is types of single phase transformer. Single phase transformer चे types constructionally म्हणजे depending upon construction there are two types of transformer. We will discuss these two types in the detail in the next lecture. Okay, getting today's point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there any doubt? कोणाला काही doubt आहे का? Hello, any doubt? Anyone?
No.
Okay, so in this way we will conclude, and we will stop here. Thank you.